from what I noticed, it seems like women say they want an honest guy until you're too honest with them, and I've seen that to where it's like, okay, you're a bit too honest, or I wish you would have lied to me about this or lied to me about that. And I'm like, what are
I hear
you
you.
talking about?
I get it. Again, it sounds like there's so many contradictions here. Now,
Yeah.
we got to remember, okay, one of the things we men do is we put women up on a pedestal, and especially attractive women or women we are attracted to. We put them on a pedestal. We think they got their act together. We think they know everything. We think they know their feelings. We think they have high self-esteem. Usually, none of that's true. I remember several years ago, my stepson, who's now like 37, was like 12. And they were sitting watching like an adolescent drama show on TV, 90210 or something like that. And the girls were, on the show were creating all this drama. And my son at like 12 years old is watching that, and his 15-year-old sister sitting there like doing her homework, with the TV on. And my son just looks at his sister, my stepdaughter, and says, "Why do girls do that?" And he was referring to the girls on the show creating all kinds of crazy bullshit drama because that's what teenagers and girls like to watch is drama. And my daughter, without even looking up from her book, just goes, "How the hell would I know? I don't even know why I do what I do half the time." And so you got to keep that in mind. A woman says, "I want an honest guy. I want a nice guy," and we go, "Okay, believe them, take them at their word." But then they go out and they watch themselves say they want a nice guy, and they watch themselves keep going back to the jerk, right? They watch themselves say, "I want an honest guy," and then you tell them, and when they say, "Were you looking at her ass?" and you go, "Yeah, she's kind of cute." No, I don't want to hear that. Now they're bringing it up. I can't even trust you because you're looking. You say, "Wait a minute, you wanted the truth. I told you the truth." Yeah, I was checking her out, right? And then
Mhm.
like they clam up and they don't talk to you, and then they punish you with that. And we're going, what the hell? They said they want the truth. So realize, you know, they are as messed up and broken and confused as any of us are. Okay. And they're going to say one thing and do another. And they bring all their own baggage, their own insecurities. Just think about, again, when we put women on a pedestal, especially the attractive women, we think, well, they got their shit together. But think about it. Every woman since they were little girls have been comparing themselves to every other little girl, every other woman. And because that's what the feminine does, it compares itself to get its sense of value. And even though they want to be pretty and be pretty and get praise and get compliments, when they're little girls and grow up to be teenagers, they want attention, they want to be noticed. They can always look around and they can see some other girl or a lot of other girls who are cuter than them, prettier than them, have bigger boobs than them, have better bodies than them, even if they're hot. Right. Even if they're like just you're turning your head going, wow, she's that same woman who you think's hot is going to look around and go, but that woman's hotter. Of course, you'll want her, not me. So, can you see how that creates an insecurity that 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 makes it hard to feel secure within yourself? I had a buddy, and we were in Las Vegas. I don't know, 15 years ago. Uh, we were leading a dating workshop in Las Vegas at the Palms in Las Vegas. So he and we got there a day early, and we had some time, and we were sitting by the pool and drinking iced tea by the Palms pool. I mean, there's lots of celebrities that come and hang out there, a lot of really attractive women, and of course, all the waitresses out by the pool are all hot, and they'll have a little short outfits on and everything. And I told my buddy, I said, let's try something. So we called the waitresses over, one after another, maybe three different waitresses. And I would say to each of the women, I say, hey, my buddy and I, we were talking here. I said, I've got a theory. I said, every woman, no matter how hot she is, has something about herself she doesn't like. And I go, okay. And I would say, you're an attractive woman. You're a hot woman. So I'm already putting it out there. I know she's attractive. She knows she's attractive. And I say, what's your point of insecurity? Every one of these hot waitresses, walking around serving drinks at the Palms bar, every one of them, without even hesitating, told us what they thought was flawed about them. One of them said, "Oh yeah, I don't like my complexion. I've always had problems with my complexion." Just without even thinking, she said that. And I looked and I go, Yeah, if you look hard, you can see maybe she had issues with her complexion. The other one says, I don't like that I'm bow-legged. I grew up riding horses and I kind of walk funny. Uh, okay, yeah, I can kind of see that. The other one, I think, said something like she works out, but she thought her legs were too thick or something. And I thought, okay. So every one of these women that my buddy and I, of course, think were hot and attractive, every one of them, without even hesitation, could tell us when every time they look in the mirror, every time they've looked in the mirror since they were pre-teenagers, they saw that flaw standing out at them. And so they assume everybody else sees how flawed they are as well. And every time they look at another attractive woman, they're going, she's so much prettier than I. She has a nicer ass than me. She has better boobs than me. She's taller than me. She has prettier hair than me. She, blah, 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 blah. And then we guys think they're going to be like really secure and consistent and not crazy. And if we grew up comparing ourselves to every other guy and continuously focusing on how we weren't good enough, we'd feel pretty insecure in our own skin. So you just need to know that most women do that. I'm not saying they all do it, but you can assume the majority do. They're constantly negatively comparing themselves. And so they assume you are too, right? And so they're just waiting for you to find the flaws in them and dump them. And the more together of a guy you are, the more you got your shit together, they're going to be attracted to that, but it's going to scare them because they're going to see, oh man, that guy's got his shit together. That turns me on. I like that about him. And they're also going to notice other women are noticing you because that's what happens when a guy's got his shit together. The other women notice and they're going, I'm attracted to Prince. Other women are attracted to Prince. Oh no, he's going to like them better than me. He's going to leave me. So they get more insecure. They get more crazy making with their behavior, all because they can see you got choices. You can pick somebody else if you want. Now, it doesn't matter how much you love them. I love my wife dearly. My wife knows I love her dearly. I treat her like gold. She's Mexican. When I met her, she was been poor her entire life, grew up in poverty in Guadalajara, Mexico, 2 kids, and I mean just funny as hell, smart as hell, sexy as hell. And I make her world beautiful. But she's constantly afraid some other woman's going to come along and I'm going to want the other woman and I'm going to take away everything I've ever given her and give it to the other woman. She even tells me, you're going to kick me out of my house. You're going to, you're going to take the cars away. You're going to take away my Lululemon, all that stuff. And she always says, if I ever leave, I'm just leaving with what I brought in the relationship. I go, okay, well, you can take your shoes and your microwave with you. Leave the rest of it behind. I joke with her just to say, hey, you're not leaving and I'm not kicking you out. But yeah, she lives in constant fear. I'm going to find someone better. And so she that leads to all kinds of crazy making behavior. And I've learned just to smile at it, just to say that's her way of saying she's afraid, and just to, love on her more and be strong and be solid and be that force of nature, that fierceness that she really wants.
Isn't that a good kind of fear to have? Because it's kind of like a keep them in line type of thing, to where it's like I don't I'm very militant with how I do things. So it's like okay, if you know that you're easily replaceable, you'll think twice about foolishness.
You would think that is true. You would think that's true, and I agree. And I do agree with you. I think it actually is a good fear to a degree. One guy I was doing a Q&A call a while back, and he said, Robert, can you compare dread game to blah, blah, blah? And I go, I don't know what dread game is. And so I looked it up. It's a red pill term that, there's value in your partner dreading that you'll leave them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And to a degree, there's truth to it. There's a lot of psychology and like red pill mentality that has some truth to it, but most of it is a truth to a degree. Right. And so, for example, yeah, if you or I or a woman, doesn't matter who, has a little bit of fear that our partner, could choose somebody else, there you would think that would make us try hard, and be our best and don't fuck up and don't do things that would push them away. The truth is what it does to most people is it makes them afraid. They put up their guard, their protection, their defense mechanisms that says, I don't want to get hurt. You could leave me for someone else. And we can look around and say, us men go, well, my woman's hot. Men are hitting on her. She could leave me for that guy. He's younger than me. He's buffer than me. He has more hair than me. He's richer than me. Maybe he has a bigger dick than me. And so you'd think that would make us work harder. But usually what we do is we just work harder at nice guy stuff. Oh, I'll treat her nice. I'll buy her stuff. I'll put up with her shit. I'll listen to her talk about her problems. Blah, 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 blah. And what it should do is it should give us a greater confidence that, if she wants to be with me, she'll be with me. If she doesn't, she won't. But I want a woman who wants to be with me. Now, if that gives you more confidence that you go, hey, baby, come hang with me if you want. If you want to be with him, go be with him. That makes you confident and attractive. But if it just scares us to where our defense mechanisms come up, and that's true with women as well. If they have that dread game going on. Oh man, my guy's my guy's stud. My guy's a Kobe. My guy's a Shaq. My guy's he's got his game together. Other women are going to be attracted to that, and he'll have lots of choices. He could choose those other women. You would think that would make them, for lack of a better term, put out. Show up in a more loving, affectionate, sensual, caring, to bring their A game. But for most women, in my experience, that just makes them more afraid. They put their walls up. I'm not going to let you hurt me. I know you're going to leave me. So I'm going to put my walls up, put my defenses up, not treat you well. I'm going to be withdrawn. I'm going to be depressed. I'm going to be moody. And so it doesn't tend to bring out the best in them. Now, with that said, I don't think you, as a man, you have any other choice other than to be your most integrated, conscious, open-hearted, masterful self. Be a man who's putting a fucking dent in the universe. Walk the planet like you got your shit together. Bring your A game to everything that you do. Now, I say a man who lives like that is magnetically attractive to all things feminine. Women, dogs, cats, babies, money, adventure, opportunity. Those are all feminine. Whatever's not nailed down and constant, that's feminine. And the man who's walking the planet, like I said, he's comfortable in his own skin, knows where he's going, can ask himself, what do I want? And follow through on that, even when there's all the noise around him that says, don't do that. You don't be that way. And you just go your direction. That's attractive. Now, granted, you get with a woman and her insecurities, you're going to get triggered. My man can choose anybody he wants. I love my wife dearly, but she is constantly in fear that I'm going to pick some other woman. When she left on Friday to with all my buddies here in the house, there were 4 of my friends came, and I had, like I said, this writer's workshop, and we do it every year. And she always takes the kids and goes and has a little vacation and, leaves the house to us. Well, on her way out the house, she said, all right, everybody, listen. And in Spanish, she says, solo tengo una regla, no putas en la casa. So I only have one rule. No putas, no whores, no sluts, no women in the house. And we all laughed and said, okay, none in the house. Now, one of my buddies, the one that we went out with tacos with last night, he's gay. And he says, hey, how about me? Can I have putas in the house? She goes, yes, you can. The rest of them can't. So she could laugh at her own insecurity by making this, no prostitutes in the house. And you're kind of leaving it open to whatever you do outside the house, but it was a joke on her part to make fun of the fact that she was insecure, that a bunch of men get together, a bunch of conscious, fierce men that are making a difference in the world, they're going to be pretty attractive to other women, right? And so every time she leaves, like to go do that little trip and leaves me here with my buddies for a weekend, I know she's facing really deep fears. Her fear is that, of course, we'll go find some other women and she'll come home and, she'll be replaced. So I respect the hell out of her that she has that fear and those insecurities, but she shows up anyway, and she can make a joke about it, and she can be playful about it, and she can just let me know that she's afraid, but not push me away and not put her walls up and not close off. That's a good woman in my eyes. And that's one of the main reasons I'm with her. She's the most emotionally adaptive woman I know. So yes, be that strong man that triggers their fears and anxiety. Just know that for most women, it's going to shut them down. They're going to go into their defense mechanisms. The woman I'm with, my wife, she for example, when we have sex, she makes up all kinds of dirty stories during sex that involve me doing all kinds of things with other women, just so she, in a sense, has a control over the scenario, over the story. And the shit that she talked to me about while we're having sex, if I ever did it in real life, she'd shoot me. But because she does that to face her fears. If she can create a fantasy about what scares her, it helps give her a sense of control over her fear. Now, that's a smart woman, right? That's a
It's
smart.
different.
And she even says to me, "How come you don't tell me such dirty stories?" And I go, "Because I'm afraid you'll get pissed off if I tell you something really dirty." But I've learned to do that. In fact, she was even telling some of my buddies that this weekend. Goes, "Yeah, Robert, he's a white bread. He's such a pussy. He won't even tell me any dirty stories." And I said, "Well, I've got a really good teacher, her, and that's how she deals with her fears, right? She'll go all the way into the fear to where it doesn't control her."
I actually know a girl who I used to talk to. She was freaking nuts. But she mentioned like with her ex-boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend ended up cheating on her, and then she actually said like, when she stopped dealing with him, that she actually masturbated to the thought of him cheating.
Yeah. Yeah, I know we're going, huh? All right. Here's something my wife told me
I
years
know.
ago. Like when her jealousy used to come up so strong all the time. Oh, you're looking at that woman. You're looking at that woman. If I'm on my phone, who are you talking to? You're smiling. You must be
I
texting
hate
with a
that.
woman. Yeah, maybe they all do it. I always think maybe I should track the ones that do that. They're always accusing you of something.
Yep.
And so I used to I get mad about it. I try to, why are you being so jealous? I've never cheated on you. I've never lied to you. I've never had a secret. You can look at my phone. I don't have anything in there. You've never seen anything there that wasn't supposed to be there, but you still keep accusing me of this stuff. Until I realized, okay, this isn't working. This isn't making her be less insecure or less jealous. And then she told me, she said, even though I get really upset and scared and mad that I think you're with somebody else, she goes, it also turns me on. And in Spanish, she basically says, cuando tengo celos, estoy caliente. When I have jealousy, I'm hot, I'm horny. And I tried to explain to her the psychology of it, that it's actually true. The jealousy is arousing. It's a powerful aphrodisiac. Because if you're with someone and you think, oh, my woman's flirting with some other guy, most of us we want to shut down and we'll get scared. But if it makes you bigger and bolder and say, walk up, hey, baby, what's going on? You're mine. And the jealousy kind of makes you more aroused, and you want to, in a sense, own her, not in a patriarchal way, but own her like, hey, baby, you're mine, I'm yours. And so I realized I needed to try to quit getting my wife to not be jealous, because if her jealousy was turning her on, why would I want to take that away? Right? Why would I want to do anything that made my wife less caliente, less hot, less horny? So I learned to play with it. To now, we'll play with it. And she's asked me, she says, okay, just promise me, if you ever think you want to sleep with another woman, you ever want to have sex with another woman, she said, would you just tell me first? And I said, you've had that promise since day one. I said, if I ever even think I want to sleep with another woman, I'll talk to you about it. I will tell you. So I think the last time she told me this a few months ago, she said, okay, you promise me that if you ever want to sleep with another woman, you'll tell me first. And I go, yes, I promise. And she says, because I'll probably want to watch. And I said, okay, no problem. So, I
Oh,
mean, again, that's her being such, even with her insecurities, she has a strength about her that says, I want to face my fears. I want to witness it firsthand, because she goes, I know it's going to turn me on, while at the same time I want to cut your dick off. I know it's going to make me want to fuck your brains out at the same time.
so quick question. Where do I find one of these?
I,
Where do I
I,
find
you know what? Here's the deal. I found my wife here in Mexico, and
Of
Mexican
course.
women do kind of have that kind of vibe about them. They do have that energy about
Facts.
them. Eh, but here's the deal. What if we assumed that maybe most women have that kind of energy about them, but they've never felt safe or had permission to like express it, to go
Okay.
with it? So, for example, what if like you're with a woman, and she kind of starts accusing you of something, and you go, "Ooh, I love it when you get jealous. That kind of makes me hot when you get jealous like that." I said, "You kind of like it, don't you? When I'm looking at another woman's ass?" "No, I hate it." And I go, "Oh, I know you. I know you better than that. It got you thinking things." And tell you what, why don't you tell me your fantasies? Whatever. There's no right way to do this, and I wouldn't want you to try to manipulate anybody. But what if we realized that every woman is in competition with every other woman, and what if you use that to your advantage?